Hey guys, so just kind of doing a little bit of a vlog style with this video, just because I really like to be able to document what's going on in my life or how I'm feeling. We'll see how well my hair stays up like that. So I didn't pin it, I just twisted it up, and I meant to put a pin in it, and I forgot, so it might come down on me. But anyways, I took Molly to the vet this morning. I dropped her off at 7:30. I think it's about noon now, but I took her to the vet this morning to get spayed. She's about a year old, so it was needing done. Been needing done for a while, but we kept putting it off. But it's getting done today. And I don't know, I've just been feeling really anxious about the whole thing, like more than I would expect to feel over it. And the only thing I can think of, I love that bump I have going on back there. What is that? It was literally like I had to get her to the vet between 7 and 7:30 this morning. That's their drop-off time because we took her to the low-cost spay neuter clinic. We took the boys there, the cats, and we had a really good experience having them neutered there, so we decided to take Molly there to get spayed because it's considerably cheaper than your regular vet's office, and we had a really good experience, so we were like, we'll just take her there too. So anyways, I had to have her there by between 7 and 7:30. It takes me like 15 to 20 minutes to get to the clinic depending on traffic. So I got up at like 6:30 this morning and like got dressed and ran out the door. So yeah, it's had me nervous and anxious today. I didn't think I would feel this way, but I've really been like worried about her, and I guess that just comes, my guess on that is that it goes back to our old dog JJ. Any of you here who subscribed to me from the very beginning, we're talking back when I had like maybe 20 subscribers. You might remember her in some of my videos, but she passed away last spring, and I don't know that I ever really got too into everything that happened there because it was really hard. I mean, I was really attached to that dog, and so was my husband, and I don't know that I ever really truly got into everything that happened. But she was old. She was like 12 or 13, and she went about 5 weeks where she couldn't use her right front leg, and we kept taking her to veterinary appointments, trying to figure out what was going on. They kept doing x-rays. They weren't really being able to figure it out. I think she went to 2 separate vets, 3 or 4 different times in a 5-week time span. On top of that, she also got really sick and was like vomiting a lot. Granted, the sickness only lasted her like 3 days and she was over it, but she went like 5 weeks where she couldn't use her front leg. And at the second or third or fourth appointment, I don't remember how many we went to, because at first they're like, oh, it's probably a sprain, and then took her to another vet because the other vet was sick or something, or maybe it was I think he was in surgery. See, at the time we were going between the vet that I grew up taking my dog to, the vet that my parents use, and taking her to my brother-in-law, who's also a veterinarian, but he works all the way in Marion, so that's like a 45-minute drive, whereas the other vet was like just up the road, like 10 minutes. So the first time we took her to my brother-in-law in Marion, and I think he was like, oh, she probably sprained her leg because he couldn't really feel anything different, and he was like, give her some time. And then she got really sick because he did x-rays on her, and it wasn't broken or anything, but she wasn't putting any pressure on it. She was refusing to use it. She says, he's probably sprained it somehow. Older dog, probably jumped off the couch, sprained her leg, give her some time. And then she got sick and was vomiting and still wasn't using her leg. And we took her to the other veterinarian because my brother-in-law, I think, was in surgery that day and wouldn't be able to see her. And since she started vomiting, it had us freaked out, and we wanted to get her in ASAP. And it just wasn't going to work out to get her in with my brother-in-law. So we took her to the other veterinarian, and he checked her out and gave her some medication, and he's like, well, I don't want to do a whole lot with her leg when she's throwing up and really sick, so let whatever it is she has run its course. She should start feeling better. I guess she had a fever and everything, I remember that, and sent us home. And then like a week or so later, still wasn't doing any better. And we took her back to my brother-in-law, who did a more extensive exam, essentially. I don't know if they have like an MRI machine or what it was he used, but he was able to see that essentially all of her muscle mass through her shoulder, scapula area, and down part of her leg had actually turned into a tumor. And she had pretty much lost her muscle mass, so that was why she couldn't walk, and the tumor was like kind of fusing her shoulder leg area together. So we had decided to have her leg amputated. He said, you know, at this point, she's gone 5 weeks without being able to use it. It's going to be a faster recovery for her, and she's already adjusted to being on 3 legs. He's like, I normally wouldn't like to do this with an older dog for front leg removal, but she's already gone 5 weeks without being able to use it. She's pretty well adjusted to being on 3 legs. So we decided to go ahead and have her leg amputated, and she passed away during surgery, and that was about this time last year. Banjo's trying to get into my tea. He loves sweet tea. He's a cat, and cats aren't supposed to drink sweet tea. He is a sugar fiend. Like, I've never met another cat that likes sugar as much as he does. Like, I was eating a cookie. Oh, this was probably a couple months ago. But I was eating a cookie, and I set it down on the coffee table, and he walks by and freaking licks it. Like, you little fucker. And he loves sweet tea. Anytime he gets a chance to like stick his nose in a glass of sweet tea, or if it's too far down in the glass, he'll like stick his paw in there and like lick it off his paw. So we have to like keep an eye on him and make sure we don't leave sweet tea sitting around, because he'll be in it. But a little side story there. Anyways, yeah, JJ passed away March of last year, and it's now April. I think it's April 20th today. So you guys probably won't see this for a few weeks, but yeah, it just kind of hit me today, and it just had me all like nervous and anxious. And plus, Molly's never been away from me. I mean, she's stayed with my mom a couple of times when I very first started working at one of the grooming clinics, and I first got her. But she only stayed with my mom once or twice, and then the grooming clinic was like, why am I saying clinic? I don't know. The grooming salon was like, oh, you can just bring her with you, and we'll just have a designated cage for her to hang out in during the day. So that's what we did. She just went to work with me, and then I quit there and went to another job. And she was older, and we had our house, and I just had her set up in the kitchen to hang out in the kitchen. And then I quit that job, and I've just been stay at home since then. And she's now a year old. We got her last, well, yeah, she's about a year old. We got her last May, and she was 8 weeks when I got her, so she would have been born around March-ish time frame, February, March, something like that. So she's just pretty much always been with me. Like I said, there's been a couple of times when she stayed the day with my mom, but otherwise she's never been away from me. And I don't know, it's like I just kind of wanted to sit in the parking lot and wait for her surgery to be over. I didn't want to leave her. But it's noon now, and I just called the veterinary clinic, which is one thing I really like about this low-cost spay neuter clinic, is that the people are so nice. They really are. They're so caring. They were making a huge fuss over her this morning when she came in. And I called just to check on her, which they don't mind, and they went back and they checked on her. I did the same thing with the cats when we took them in for a neuter. They won't let you pick them up early. Drop off is between 7 and 7:30, and pick up is between 3 and 3:30. So I'm not allowed to go pick her up until this afternoon. I guess it's because they want to keep an eye on him, make sure everything's okay. But yeah, I just called and everything's good. They said she did really well, and she's up moving around right now, so that's good. But I'm just like ready to have my puppy back. My hair is like frizzy today. What is all of that? But yeah, I don't know. Part of it could be pregnancy hormones. I'm got that mother bear thing going on. I'm like, I want my kids here. I feel like my pets are my kids. I mean, seriously, it's like having 3 toddlers running around the house. But the cats have kind of been enjoying having Molly gone, because she's a handful. She's jealous, a very jealous dog. She will chase the cats off if they come up to see me. So sometimes I have to get on her and make her sit on the ground so that I can hang out with the cats if they're wanting attention, because she gets jealous. And she plays rough. Like, her and Banjo get along great. Banjo plays rough. Banjo can go either way, but Banjo's a big cat. I mean, he's not tiny, so he can handle her. So they rough house, and he doesn't take her shit. But Oliver's a little guy. He's tiny, and she kicks his ass. So a lot of time he will just kind of hang off by himself. He doesn't get super into the play. Occasionally he'll play with her, but a lot of times he's just like, go away. And he'll try to play with Banjo because Banjo will bring it down a notch for him. And anytime the cats start playing and Molly's here, Molly tries to get in on it, and then Oliver leaves. So Banjo and Oliver have been going crazy this morning, just running through the house and roughhousing and playing with each other and cuddling with me, and you can tell they're kind of enjoying it, but I'm ready to have my puppy back. So, I don't know. I just kind of want to talk about what's going on, and I'll update you guys when I pick her up this afternoon. So I just pulled into the clinic and I have about 5 minutes before I can go in and get Molly because they don't want people picking up animals until 3, and it's like 2:53, so about 5 minutes. But on my way here, I'm just gonna like vent for a second. This like freaking aggravates me when I'm driving on the road and people do this. So I'm like on my way here, and the road I'm taking it's a 2-lane road. Well, I don't know really what you'd call it, because you have 2 lanes heading southbound and 2 lanes heading northbound all on the same road, okay? But the lanes are like so close together that it's easy for people to like hug the center of the road if they're not paying attention. And the guy I was driving next to kept hugging my side of the road, and like I wanted to pass him, but I was afraid if I passed him, like he would sideswipe me because he kept like kind of crossing over into my lane. It's like, buddy, we don't need to hug it out. Stay over there. Okay, you got space. Get away from me. We don't need to be friends. I hate when people do that when you're driving. It's like, dude, move over. So, yeah. We'll get Molly and we'll head on home. So I just got Miss Molly, and she's in her little cone. And she's pretty drowsy. I'm sure if she could talk, she'd be saying something funny. Poor thing. We're gonna get her home and probably put her to bed. I feel so bad for her. She looks so out of it. Poor little thing. I don't know, can you see her back there? Hey, Molly. Hey, girlfriend. Poor thing. They said she has to wear the cone for the next 7 to 10 days, and we have to keep an eye on her to make sure she doesn't get any infections in her incision. And we can't let her do any like running and jumping for the next 10 days, or let her lick her incision. So the running and jumping part's gonna be hard because that dog is hyper. That dog, well, you guys have watched the videos I include at the end of my videos. She's hyper. She's nutcase, so it's gonna be kind of hard, but I'm glad her surgery went okay. Thanks for letting me talk to you guys today. I was, kind of stressed out about the whole thing, but I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up and let you guys go. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.